So we'll put Johnny in center field and Maggie in left, and look for a right fielder, or it'll go the other way. Johnny's going to be like a Rainbird sprinkler. He's going to go from left to center, and if that doesn't work, then we'll move him to right and see if it's. We have some candidates. It's just figuring out who it is. A young man from Phoenix, then Gibbons. Phil, we have a young man from the Northwest, from Seattle, Sam Brown, that can play center field for us a little bit. But we need to look him in offense and need to see what the. What's the entire program. So Johnny will start at center, but he could very easily move to right or get back to left.
How many question marks? I mean, you were touching on the right field situation. You lose the left side of your infield to the draft from last year. I mean, how many different question marks?
The question marks right now are, who's going to play third, who's going to play short, who's going to be in one outfield position. Because I think Field is going to be, we'll keep Field. I think he's okay. He'll make the club this year. And Maggie, I think he's a keeper too. So we got to find one guy to play one of the outfield positions. Now where that mixture will be, I really don't know. We'll find out in the next 4 or 5 weeks. Second, I feel good with Trent. They're obviously coming back, although he's working at short a little bit right now too. But there's some real good young guys that have shown some good things. I mean, I'm excited about the incoming freshman class. Wilfred Jackson, Kevin Newman, Ryan Coleshill, those guys are really showing. Another Southwest guy, or Northwest guy, I should say, Sam Paris, big first baseman, JC transfer, big strong athlete with power. So, there's some things. Now, the upside of that is that from a pitching standpoint, we're really only looking for, who's going to jump into the Sunday slot and a couple of relief spots in terms of, who's going to chew up some innings in the middle. Feel pretty good about Connor Wade and James Ferris coming back. And even though we still have, in fact, I was asked about it today. We were at the Veterans Hospital talking to some veterans, a few of the coaches and players. And one of the veterans came and said, "Coach, what about that freshman loaded up the bases in the ninth inning?" I said, "Gosh, I thought we'd forgotten that by now." But Matt Troop, I think, will be okay in that role.
And that's what I was going to ask about Troop and his role maybe changing a little bit this year.
Possibly. The only reason I really, those that have been around us for since I've been here, I really like a closer. I'm a real smart coach when we have a good closer. I'm brilliant in the 8th and 9th innings. And when we don't, I do things like I did in Omaha and put Troop in there and he loads the bases up. I think Matt, in an ideal situation, I'd like for Matt to take that role. He's a year into it. He's had unbelievable experience. I mean, when you're a freshman, you're on the bottom of a dog pile for a national championship. That speaks volumes in terms of coming back and pitching in the season to come. So I'd like for him to do that. But we have some candidates to maybe move into that spot too. So there are some questions without a doubt. Last year was an older team. This year's kind of a combination though. With every young guy, there's an old guy. And it really is. For every who's going to be the Sunday starter? There's Connor Wade. Well, who's going to play short? And there's Riley Moore now after a year. And who's going to play center field? Well, there's Brandon Dixon and Johnny Field are back. So it's kind of it could be a good balanced group. It really could. I mean, that's what I'm looking at optimistically. It could be a very balanced group.
Do you have someone to step into the leadership roles with losing 6 of your key guys with Seth especially?
I don't know if you'll ever replace Coach Mejia. I don't know if he'll ever replace Alex. And I mean that. He's that kind of guy comes around your life. I've been doing this for 36 years, and I can think of 2 guys like Alex Mejia. So I've had a David Eckstein, a Mark Ellis, and an Alex Mejia. Man, those guys they're hard to replace. So I'm not sure you ever replace Alex Mejia, but I know there are some good people in this program that are older guys that will take the leadership role. I'm really not concerned about that, honestly, in any way, shape, or form. That is the least of my concerns. And I speak of the Connor Wades, Brandon Dixons, the Johnny Fields, even the Riley Moore, even though he's a sophomore. He took, for him to catch as a freshman and do what he did, pretty impressive. So I don't worry about that at all. I really don't. That'll take care of itself. It really